Okay.
Okay. So, I need to share my screen.
That's better. Okay.
Voila.
Hi.
Do you see my screen properly?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So the phycocyanine, it's the extract of Arthrospira paratensis maxima, which is a botanic name of the spirulina.
Ah.
So sorry for that. 3.5 billion years ago, the group of cyanobacteria, formerly known as blue-green algae, is one of the
Algae.
oldest algae. Sorry for that.
Algae.
Algae
No.
is one of the oldest form of life on Earth.
Mm.
Indeed, as you know, on the beginning of the creation of life on the planet Earth, it was mainly based on water, and a lot of bacteria was living inside the water. And indeed, a group of cyanobacteria are really super old, and phycocyanine actually is it belongs to this group of bacteria, really old. And amongst them is the genus Spirulina or Arthrospira filamentus cyanobacteria, which includes a very interesting bacterium better known as Spirulina algae. Spirulina has major elements, phycocyanine, naturally contained in its main pigment with many therapeutic values. So the benefits of phycocyanine, who is it for? For anyone who wishes to protect against oxidation, strengthen immunity, increase performance. So we are talking both mental performance and physical performance. This is why we like to advise it to also, like for students who need to focus, or also for sports people. And it also protects yourself against the risk of inflammation, which indeed is the main cause of various pain and problems in the human body. So the benefits of phycocyanine, it's also a great antioxidant. It is the most powerful antioxidant and anti-radical that exists today. It's 20 times more potent than vitamin C and 16 times more powerful than vitamin E. So vitamin E is mainly the role of vitamin E is like for how do you say, when for example we use it in skin moisturizer to keep the cells like new and young. So this is kind of anti-aging.
Rejuvenation.
Yeah,
Yes.
rejuvenation, exactly, and anti-aging. Voila. So
That's what
it's
it looks
also a
like.
great antihistaminic
Oh,
and
great.
it's really antihistaminic, which is like for people who has allergy. So like for example in Japan, a lot of people suffer from allergy, especially during the change of season. This is quite common in Japan, so that might help a lot of people. And it's also helping with high fever. And indeed, when all the family here got the virus that I would not mention the name, we gave to them the phycocyanine, and I think that might have helped as well. So it helped like taking preventive action. The immunomodulatory action of phycocyanine allows the attenuation of symptoms related to seasonal allergy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's really good. And for
Yes, well,
athletes,
actually, Savannah gets a lot of allergies in San Diego. She'd appreciate it. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. I didn't had allergies this year, so like I don't have an allergic. I'm not an allergic person, but I don't know if I can say that. But this year I didn't had any allergy during the spring, so I don't know if it's related, but it might be. And it's also it benefits also athletes and people who are really active, physically active especially. The phycocyanine stimulates the formation of red blood cells, thus enhancing exercises and better recovery. Its antioxidants and anti-inflammatory actions also allow an optimization of muscle recovery even after an injury. So we had an amazing testimony of a woman who is a champion of box, Her name is Cynthia Gonzalez, and she's a sponsor. She's sponsorized by the company, and she said that with box she has a lot of bruise and a lot of muscle pain, and she has like the pain reduced half and even more, and she's able to do more and more training, and she's really feeling that she's recovering very fast. And I can say also myself as a dancer, I have much less muscle pain when I take Phycocyanine, and if I forget to take it when I dance, I have more muscle pain. So that's quite great. So, and also, well, of course, you drink more and you drink more water plus Phycocyanine, so that helps as well. So our Phycocyanine, how do we cultivate our Phycocyanine? So the production of Spirulina biomass and its physiological strengthening in a photobioreactor in Europe optimize control of the culture medium. The sites audited by Qualifarm, which is a quality control organization for the pharmaceutical industry, and culture medium control and reproducible. Sorry for my little English sometimes, it's funny. So here is an example of the culture, example of the photobioreactor culture. So it's how it looks like. Of course, I mean, if we had to collect it on the top of the lake Titicaca, we won't be able to have a big production enough to operate internationally. So, and the production is much more stable when it's done this way, actually.
Right. You got quality control.
Yeah, definitely. And we have also selective extraction. So the Phycocyanine is harvested inside the cytoplasm and the cellular waste is rejected. So actually we can extract really selectively the Phycocyanine, which is a pigment inside the molecule of spirulina. So here is the three products that we have. We have what we call the 5K, the rain blue, and the 10K. We have also the Phyco animal. It's not here, but we have it. It's for every animal. So people who are veterinary, they can also offer it because it's really working for animals as well. So the 5K basically has a bit less concentration. I'm going to show you here. So the 5K has 1,000 milligram per liter of Phycocyanine and extract of acerola. Acerola is really rich in vitamin C, so it's really boosting your body. And the green blue, it's like a Red Bull, but version natural. And the effects are really amazing, and not the side effect as product as Red Bull. I mean, like for example, products such as Red Bull can increase the heartbeat, and this one, the green blue, is more moderate, so you can feel, of course, you're more genki, you have more energy, but you don't have the bad sad effects of energy drink in general. And the concentration is like the 5Ks. It's 5,000 milligram per liter of Phycocyanine, extract of acerola, caffeine, and taurine. So the taurine is a natural vegetal taurine. This is important to mention. So this is totally perfect for vegan people. And we have also the 10K, which is pure Phycocyanine at 10,000 milligram per liter of Phycocyanine. So this is a stronger concentration of Phycocyanine that we have. So this one is super effective for people who have serious health trouble. For myself, like concerning, for example, the premenstruation pains, I used the 5K, but my friend used the 10K and the result was much faster. But after, of course, depends of the body of the person, of course. Like me, I know I needed also to have vitamin C, so the acerola and Phycocyanine mix was perfect for me.
Right.
So this is just for kind of sharing to adapt. If you have a sports person, you're going more to talk about the rain blue because the rain blue is really adapted. So the characteristic of the production process. Well, we are certified ISO, and we have also the label Food Safety System Certification 22000. So if people ask like about the certification of the production, so we are totally compliant. we are also about the bioavailability to be assimilated properly by the body. Phycocyanine must be available to the intestine and not linked to other elements. So this is why we have this process of extraction to make sure that this is really better absorbed by the body, and the fact it's a liquid, it's also facilitates the absorption. So the uptake of phycocyanine by the body is optimal in liquid form. Therefore, aqueous preparation are reliable sources of phycocyanine. Our product, 5K, Green Blue, and 10K, offer bioavailable phycocyanine and not linked to other elements. This is why it's such a great product, because it has been really fully extracted. It's a bit like, you know, acid acetic salicylic, you know, like aspirin. You know, when you take aspirin for headache, for example, this is the same. Actually, they extracted the molecule, the salicylic, and they made a medication pretty much with it, if I want to say it really simplified. So this is pretty much, this is a bit similar. So we extract the molecules, and then the molecules get stronger by itself. So here it is, and I can tell you a little bit more about it. I'm going to stop the share screen, and I'm going to go a bit deeper in detail. That might help you for people who are more into medical fields. So the phycocyanine blue pigment of Spirulina algae, sorry, I still trouble to pronounce this word. So phycocyanine is the most exceptional pigment that is part of the composition of Spirulina. It is a powerful antioxidant with perfect bioavailability. It's generally present at 10% to 18%, and it is at the origin of the name that we commonly given to spirulina, the blue algae. And this pigment is in fact responsible for the bluish color of spirulina. So if you buy, for example, spirulina, and you know, like sometimes it can be in powder, but it can be also in, how do you call it, like kind of, you know, medication. And you put this, sorry, in pill?
Capsule,
yeah.
tablets.
Yeah, tablets. And if you put it in water and you wait you wait for a while, and then you will see a little blue pigment coming on the surface. So this is actually the phycocyanine. This is the pigment. So the latter, which is exclusive to spirulina, phycocyanine is found in almost no other food, is also used as a natural dye, the only natural blue dye authorized in Europe. And experiments and let a spirulina tablet melt in the water, as I said, then you will see clearly the blue reflection on the top.
Yeah.
And to complete, we would say that phycocyanine is made up of the association of proteins from the phycobilly protein family and pigments, and the latter is responsible of its color and play a receptor role in photosynthesis. So the phycocyanobillins. And phycocyanine, as well-studied pigment, boosts the immune system, detoxifies the organism, strengthens the activity of lymphocytes, and provides appropriate cellular control functions. It has been argued that it's I think, I don't know if I pronounce well, that it inhibited the growth, spread, and development of cancer as certain other disease. This is not me, you say it. You can research on pubmed.gov, and you are going to find more research. There is like nearly 2,000 research on phycocyanine.
Yeah.
And like Indian biophysicist Saini MK and Sanyal SN have discovered that blue pigment is a natural solution for the prevention of colon cancer. So that's pretty nice as well.
Yeah.
And in the studies in the United States and India in 2007, researchers found that the phycocyanine protects the liver from lipid carbon tetrachloride and causes the programmed death of liver cancer cells. And phycocyanine inhibits pancreatic cancer 3 days after ingestion. And the blue pigment in spirulina detoxify, protect the kidney, and prevent heavy metal poisoning. So you can guess that, you know, it has a wonderful effect because in the kidney you have the memory of the body, and it's also filter all the blood. So this is why the spirulina is so great also for the blood, because if it acts everywhere on the blood and also on the kidney, it like strengthens the kidney and helps the blood to be filtered better. So the kidney has such an important role in the human body. And also, of course, like every poison or heavy metals can be stuck in the liver. So if the liver is cleaned and strengthened by the phycocyanine, that can also help to avoid to keep the heavy metal in the human body. So it's pretty good for Japan, I think, for other reason. And the blue gold of spirulina phycocyanine captures light much better than chlorophyll, and it is capable of collecting the entire solar spectrum, which it converts into energy supply, and which is then found in the spirulina. Phycocyanine has a structure similar to that of hemoglobin, except from one atom. It stimulates the synthesis of red and white blood cells, boosts the immune system while providing an antioxidant, anti-allergic, and anti-inflammatory effect. And erythropoietin, which is short for EPO, is known as a growth factor for the production of red blood cells. And in 1994, Chinese study shows that phycocyanine can stimulate the activity of erythropoietin. I have a little trouble to pronounce some words. The name EPO will have a particular resonance among athletes because the substance has been discredited, rightly so, as a doping agent for endurance athletes and cyclists in particular. And with phycocyanine, the body could be doped naturally without risk to health to a modest extent and in a completely natural way. We have the certification, by the way, that we are not like a kind of drug for boost the athletes. So if they do the blood check before competition, they are going to be all right. So this is 100% okay. Some experts view the influence of erythropoietin as an important reason for the performance enhancing effects that can be seen after regular use of phycocyanine. We said regular use of phycocyanine, this is important because if they take only in one time, they will feel the effects, but on a regular basis, the effects are much deeper because the body cells take at least like 2 days to regenerate. And if you take it like during 21 days, the body has really time to regenerate fully, and you will find the effects deeply inside the body. So so you can deduce the role of phycocyanine on health is really pretty amazing. So it is
take it once a day, twice a day, once a day, twice a day.
Generally we recommend twice a day, but depends of the people. It really depends.
I couldn't read, the writing was too tiny with my glasses, and I was like, I think it's once a day, but I don't know.
Actually, generally we recommend to start with like 1 chit of the bottle. Generally we say 1 teaspoon, but I feel it's too small. I prefer a soup, like soup spoon, the big spoon, the morning and the evening. And you put this in a glass of water, or some people even put in 1 liter of water and they drink or during the whole day. I prefer to drink it in the water, morning and evening. And
because I was taking it in the morning. Yoru more evening is good too.
This is no problem, except the ring blue.
Morning.
Yeah, the 5K and the 10K, no problem, but the ring blue, I would not recommend to take it at night because you will feel very super energetic.
Energetic. Yeah, because it said best in the morning, and there was a documentary on NHK, because I used to watch Medical Frontiers a lot until I got rid of my TV recently. One of the doctor programs was talking about your body clock, and most doctors only talk about your main body clock. But this
Yeah.
doctor was talking about, he realized every organ has its own body clock. So most doctors give you every medication, they say morning, lunch, and dinner. And he's like, that's actually not true, because your different organs function at different times of the day. So the medication that's suitable should be according to each organ's body clock. And he found the medications given at the right body clock time for each organ made the medications more effective, and ended up being so effective they had to reduce the quantity of medication, and the efficacy was great.
Yeah, definitely. Like, for example, in Chinese medicines, we said that the time for the stomach is between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. So that makes sense for me to take Phycocyanine at this time, because like much before in the early morning, there is the lung who is activate, and much later you have your stomach. So for me, that makes sense to take it more in the morning.
Yes.
And not in the late evening. I would say more end of the day.
Right.
Like end of the afternoon, while your digestive system is still like active.
Right,
So yeah, this is what I figure out myself. Like, if I respect the Chinese medicines and the organ timing, it's also much more better indeed.
Yeah, I was actually quite blessed to see that program. It's a guy up in Tokyo, a doctor up in Tokyo, and he's actually using the whole system to reduce the amount of medications that patients get, because he's like, they keep increasing the medication if it's not effective. And he's like, by changing the time schedule when you give it to them, you actually decrease the medication. It's more effective. Most of them get healed quickly and they get off it.
Yeah.
And that was for a whole bunch of variety of illnesses, cancers, whatever it was. So that was a real breakthrough.
Oh, that's nice. If you have the link, or if this documentary can be found somewhere.
It'll be on NHK Medical Frontiers. I've got to look through it on the NHK tab. Yeah.
Okay.
App. Sorry.
That's really interesting, this kind of documentary, because that gives a lot of support, like for when we talk about the product. If we have some like medical researches or any kind of documentary to share, it's really great for the people to really
Let
understand.
me write that note down. Fine.
There's talking about digestive, it also it has also shown that it can cure leukemia, because it has a protective action against radiation.
Right.
So that's pretty great. What else? So it can reduce the effect of it acts against oxidative stress, and therefore the effect of aging, because probably lack of the strength in vitamin E. What else? It promotes the reduction of stem cells, the production of white and red blood cells, antibodies, as well as platelets. Immunity is strengthened. Yeah, that's pretty great. It participate to the protection and detoxification of the liver, and it encourages the synthesis of the bile salts, which improves the digestion of lipids. So that's really great. This is why also like some people can also notice a bit that they lose weight, because maybe it just keeps the great lipids and makes the bad lipids go away. And I've been myself through this detox actually, because it seems like the phycocyanine is also acting of how do you call it? I forgot the name. I don't know how to say in English. Like, it acts also on the all the tube, like for example, when all the tube are kind of more dilated, so it can
mean the blood vessels? Your blood vessels and your capillaries.
No.
Your blood,
like the how do you call it, the sphincter, how do you call it, like the last part of all the exit of the body, pretty much.
your colon.
Yeah,
Your colon,
but the really end. the really end part. I don't know how
Right,
you
right.
say the rectum.
The rectum.
Yeah, maybe all this
Rectum.
area apparently, like they were study, and it seems that there is an action, and it seems like then it helps to eliminate physically. And I've been through that, and I noticed indeed kind of dilatation, and I was thinking, oh my God, what's going on? And I had no pain, but I've been to the toilet during like 2-3 days, and like the water was going really fast, and even like everything, every side,
So,
and
right.
no pain at all.
Maybe it helps constipation in that case. You know how people get constipated? They get stuck and they can't go to the toilet. Maybe it helps them to release more.
It help for constipation, because I was not constipated, but somehow a big detox happened, and it was not painful. I was not suffering, just my body was just, you know, detoxing. So that was really great. And also, I mean, if I talk in terms of vibration, but I don't want to go too far on this because it might afraid some people. But when you raise your vibration, because the Phycocyanine acts also on the pineal gland, and it's kind of declutters the pineal gland, so it can awaken your mind as well. But also because your vibration rise, all the toxin inside your body that are not aligned with your new vibration are going to be expulsed out of the body. So this is kind of the energetic explanation. But the physical explanation is just because, you know, like it detox, it cleans the blood, and etc. And also your rectum is more like open, and I could really feel it physically.
Dilated.
It's not really sexy to say, but
but it's a physical reality.
The physical reality. I mean, we all go to the toilet, and we all need to have, you know, sometimes a big a detox is nice.
As my dad used to say, even the Queen farts, so it's okay to talk about it.
Yeah, that's okay. Definitely.
Ladies, I have to leave you. I have a 10 o'clock appointment.
Oh, okay.
And then a 10.
So I think we have been through Master Fit.